It's a bit more angry, it might be a bit more despairing, this album, than the last one. But I think it's as simple as seeking. You have to find an inspiration, that sort of starting point and an inspiration point. And maybe the first song that I wrote was a bit darker, and then that leads on to another and another. I try and create a group of songs that are a collection, so they work as an album, because I try and think in albums. So I mean, it's all pretty unconscious, really.
Vous écrivez beaucoup spontanément ou est-ce que vous avez besoin d'une échéance pour écrire des chansons?
I need a bit of a structure, an infrastructure that demands my attention, or else I can sort of go off and I become you know, I can what you call go into the mystic. I can sort of, you know, I'm not the greatest, most scheduled person in the world. So a bit of, you know, like attention. Usually it's people just saying, we paid rather a lot of money. Do you think you actually have any songs? And you just go, yes, yes. Pardon me, it makes me cough, that subject. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Anyway.
Vous continuez de tirer les chansons de votre expérience personnelle beaucoup et des observations autour de vous. Ça reste, le quotidien reste votre matériau de base?
Yeah, I don't really look that far. I don't have very global sense of politics, or I don't really see further than beyond my front hedge, you know, my front garden. So it's quite a vain experience, most of my writing. It's quite kind of about me, probably. But when I write it and I put it in an abstract song format, it's not meant to be apparent always what it's about. But I've used that yet again as a sort of inspiration. So I talk about my rubbish emotions and how inadequate I am at, you know, various situations. And I sort of turn that into a form of story and it becomes a song. But I always try and keep it very open to interpretation. It's a sort of style, you know, of songwriting.
C'est ce qui vous permet que les chansons soient adoptées par beaucoup de gens, ce côté universel, à votre avis?
But I can't always explain why there's popularity here. But I think that's to do with the genres. You know, I use pretty big songwriting cliches experienced in France. Like probably there's a lot of references to Serge Gainsbourg. Not necessarily intentionally, but I've just used a bit of a trick. And there's a boy and there's a girl. That's purely relief from my atonal voice. You know, I got kind of bored of me. I can't really sing, and me trying to do my act on it. I tire of, so I've used a sort of what you call a melodic counterpoint. So there's probably things that are familiar. I don't know if I'm answering your question really, but I don't know why. I mean, I just think it's all a bit. Just do what you do really, and you try and, you know, to write 7 songs or 10 songs is quite difficult. So I use whichever method available to make it that possible. It's not always easy.
Burn my levers and ditch my friends, secure my love with alluring shapes. But she whispered, somewhere sunlight shines all night, faces of the people hanging for life, eyeballs bulge with fear and laugh. Stick my tongue to her mouth, but she whispered,
Et qu'aimeriez-vous faire si vous n'écriviez pas de chansons, si vous ne les chantiez pas?
Well, I don't even think about it really. I'd like to be a really successful writer, but I would have not liked to have done all the hard work before that. You know, I'd like to be one next week. You know what I mean? I'd like to suddenly be really. I'd like that life. I'd like to write film scripts and go for coffee. That's really what I want. I'd like a sort of soft version of the arts. The only thing that's hard about music is it's quite hard. It's quite tough. So you still have to. I just took all the cases up myself. You know what I mean? Things like that. I'd like a kind of soft, pen-led existence. And meet some other affable people. That's what I want to do.
Merci beaucoup, Baxter.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. See you next time.
No
Take care.
problem. Thank you.